Craig Levein and Dundee United will give Hamilton all the respect they deserve tonight on making it back to the big league. But in 45 minutes, it's down to business. And Billy Reid's Accies will get the toughest of tests against the Tannadice team. It's New Douglas Park, bathed in sunshine. Not a phrase you hear too often in these parts. For our third live match of this opening SPL weekend. Hamilton Accies are back where they reckon they belong, but it's taken them a while to regain their top flight status. Their last Premier League game was in May 1989 and it was against Dundee United. It's the same opposition for Hamilton tonight as they return to the leading league. And the way United played last season and the way they've been lumbering up through the summer, it could be a tough start for Accies. Scott Booth and John Hartson are here, and let's get this out of the way early on. Your hat-trick against Hamilton for Aberdeen all those years ago that you wanted to mention?
That was nice of you to mention it, but yeah, that was a long time ago. I don't know if that's going to have any bearing on the result tonight, but what I think about tonight's game is I'm looking forward to it, because you've got a team that's come up and been promoted with a reputation, Rob, of playing good football, not just coming up and going to battle it out. They're a proud club as well, and you know, I know Billy Reid because I did my coaching licences with him, so I know him in that way, how he's going to handle all this. So it's a test of his credentials as well, and I believe he's a really positive manager. I think he'll play in a determined fashion just to play football. I think he won't want to see his side just battling away, trying to churn out draws to keep their heads above water. I think they'll play good football. And I'm looking forward to seeing the young players coming through this season. And John, you lived and played in the Glasgow area long enough to know that Hamilton is a real football place, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It's probably been long overdue, really, since they were last in the Premier League.
For Craig Levein with Emma.
Craig, you watched the other teams in the SPL get underway this weekend. How happy are you just to kick off your own campaign tonight?
Well, it's been frustrating watching everybody else playing, and I'll be glad when that first whistle goes tonight, and we'll find out if the pre-season preparation has worked.
You made a number of signings in the closed season, most recently Roy O'Donovan last Friday. Now you're starting with him tonight, and Feeney up front. You're hoping for some goals from them?
Of course, yeah. I mean, Sandaza might have started tonight, but he's not 100% fit. He had a thigh strain last week and missed 4 or 5 days. So Roy's been training. He's been playing games for Sunderland. So yeah, I think he'll be okay. Whether he'll last 90 minutes or not, we'll just have to monitor that.
The great progress you made last season has left many people tipping you for a third place finish at least this season. How does that pressure affect you, and what do you think of that?
Well, I try to ignore it. I mean, I'm hoping we're better than last season, that's all. We got 5th last season. If we get more points than we did last season, then I'll be happy.
Thanks for your time, Craig.
Okay, thank you.
Lots of continuity about the Dundee United team. A new strike partnership, of course, as Craig was saying there. But Darren Dodds is a mainstay alongside Lee Wilkie at the back, and he'll have kicked you around a few times, I would imagine, John, in the past?
Once or twice, yeah. I used to give as good as I got, though, Rob.
I can imagine.
But I used to call him the Iron Man, Darren Dodds, because he is just a rock, and he's one of these unsung heroes, if you like. Always gets overlooked by his country. Will never get considered to play for Scotland at senior level. Travelled around a bit now, but again, he's a 110%er, and he gives absolutely everything, and he's a dream from a manager's point of view, really, because you know what you're getting from him every single game. And that's one thing Hamilton will have to be careful of tonight. They've got Wilkie and Dodds, who are 2 giants from set pieces, and if they're not, they both attack the ball very, very well. So I'm sure Billy Reid would have been working on that all week in training. How can we combat Dundee United at set pieces?
There's a lot of demand for places here at New Douglas Park tonight. All roads leading here as the Accies launch the campaign in the SPL. The match is on the way.
On loan from Sunderland on Friday. Well, Scott Robertson and Warren Feeney, who also play a first competitive game for the club, have both featured extensively in pre-season. Francesco Sandasa missed most of last week's training, but he is named among the substitutes today.
We know all about Dundee United and their diamond formation. They have a consistent goalkeeper and back four with Wilkie and Dodds, the rocks, at the heart of their defence. A very mobile midfield four of Flood, Bourbon, Gomez and Robertson. And a new look strike force tonight with Roy O'Donovan making his debut. Quite an interesting selection from Craig Levein, because he hasn't been with his teammates very long.
Well, this was the venue of all Hamilton's success last season. They only dropped 8 points at home. And in fact, the last team to win here in the league was St Johnstone back in April 2007. They're the only team to win here in the league since September 2006. Gordon Strachan will, of course, be an interested observer, not just of Hamilton, as we all are, but also of Dundee United, who will be Celtic's opponents live on Setanta Sports next weekend. They've waited a long time for this moment, but the wait is just about over. Lee Wilkie and Alex Neil, two men who you wouldn't necessarily get confused in an identity parade, both waiting to lead out their teams. Will Hamilton be able to transmit the success that they had last year in the First Division into the SPL? We will have a very good idea over the next 90 minutes just how good Hamilton Accies are going to be. James McCarthy made his first team debut for Hamilton when he was just 6 weeks short of his 16th birthday. He's widely regarded as one of the most promising teenagers in European football this season. He gets the chance to rub shoulders with the best players in the country. Richard Offiong was the player of the year in the First Division last season. His 19 league goals propelling Accies to the Championship. He had a brief loan spell at Motherwell as a teenager. Certainly, he has the attributes to impress at this level. And Roy O'Donovan had been a long-term target of Craig Levein after a prolific spell in Ireland with Cork City. He's finally got his man on loan from Sunderland. And while he's yet to score a senior goal in Britain, he did score a pre-season goal for the Black Cats against Sporting Lisbon. Stuart Dougal is the man in charge of a very momentous and hopefully memorable game. The last time Hamilton played in the top flight, they won 1-0 with a Colin Harris penalty back in 1989. The opposition that day, Dundee United. And 19 years on, it's the same opposition as the Accies aim to improve, and a promising portent of what's to come. Of the last 9 sides promoted to the SPL, only 2 have gone straight back down. One of those Gretna last year, the other St Mirren early in the decade. They will fancy their chances, Accies, of being able to stay up, but you would feel that if they are, it's their home form which is going to be a major cornerstone of a successful campaign.
Well, there's no question having the AstroTurf pitch for the last few seasons has been an advantage for them. Having said that, they had the best away record in the First Division last year, so I think they can say they won the championship fair and square.
Here's Easton. Alex Neil. And now Tony Stevenson. One of several homegrown products in this Accies side, and still only 20. This ball played by McLaughlin. And he won back quickly. A combination of Easton and MacArthur. Easton taking on Sean Dillon. Good awareness of what was around him. MacArthur's ball in. Just too high for Simon Mensing, who'd made the run to the far post. It's a goal kick, but a bright opening minute and a half. Good ball. It's in. Warren Feeney. And he's against the run of play, it has to be said.
Well, Flood puts in a fantastic ball. Feeney can't get on the end of it, and McLaughlin just redirects it away from his keeper. Great ball in by Flood. Feeney can't make it, and it's definitely Mark McLaughlin who puts it into his own net.
McCarthy. And the free kick goes Hamilton's way. First one that they've really had in a dangerous position. Stevenson, who has scored in 4 of his last 6 games here, will fancy his chances from this kind of range.
Not with the wall this close, he won't.
It is in! Maybe took a deflection on the way through. but Tony Stevenson equalises for Hamilton. Their first SPL goal in nearly 20 years.
Well, I think the wall being so close did him a favour because the deflection has left Zaluska absolutely standing still. Yeah, it's come off. Gomez, I think, tries to jump. Decent pace on the ball, but really, if the wall do their job and they stay together, then that's never going to make it through.
Here's McCarthy striding forward, and he was caught by Wilkie.
I think if my lip reading's up to scratch, he said he didn't touch him.
And Stevenson's already scored one free kick. Doesn't go for goal this time. The header back is a dangerous one. It's in. Hamilton have turned it around. It's MacArthur. I just wonder what he used to get the touch in. A suspicion of a hand in there, but Hamilton have the goal and they lead 2-1.
Well, Dundee United are appealing for a handball. McLaughlin gets up at the far stick. Difficult to see. Looks like McCarthy just peeling round. He gets the knockdown from McLaughlin. Gets across. Does he use his arm? Yeah, looks like it. Looks like he's just brushed his arm on the way in. Yeah, I think for me that's got to be a handball.
Stevenson. Mensing. MacArthur. Off the arm. And eventually they do take control of it and they take a 3-1 lead. Davy Graham with the goal. His first in the SPL, and Hamilton's dream start to their campaign continues.
Well, again, the build-up to this goal is absolutely fantastic. Some brilliant passing, lovely threaded pass. Offiong's very unlucky because he loses his feet when he's in, but David Graham takes advantage. Good pass by McCarthy. Offiong's ready to shoot. Graham takes it off his toes and drills it in the bottom corner. Great finish. 3-1 up, and they're in the driving seat now.
Obviously.
Hugely impressive opening day performance. Billy Reid has plenty to be proud of. Hamilton Academical have arrived. Craig Levine, I'm sure, will be full of congratulations for his opposite number. James MacArthur, a magnificent performance in the midfield. Among the goal scorers, as was Tony Stevenson. And if there were those who doubted Hamilton's credentials at this level, I think they will have seen enough in 90 minutes. Yes, it's only the first week of the season, but you couldn't bet on them getting relegated after a performance like that. Far from it. Mightily impressive. And a few cynical words might have to be reflected on by some. And a 3-1 win, of course, after coming from behind. Mark McLaughlin unlucky to put through his own net. So he turned in a free kick. 6 minutes later, Tony Stevenson's deflected effort gave Hamilton an equaliser. The controversial goal came just before half-time. Handball by MacArthur, but it did count. And Davy Graham scored his 50th career goal to seal the win. 3-1 to Hamilton, and they were hugely impressive.
Despite the fact that Dundee United took the lead tonight, Hamilton had 3 good efforts before that to get themselves in front, and it was down to good goalkeeping from Lucas Zaluska that really kept them out.
There was a lot of good play all over the park tonight, but from both goalkeepers. I thought Czerny in the second half, but Zaluska certainly in the first half. And it was just, you know, a lot of off-the-ball running, good passing from Hamilton. They took the game to Dundee United right from the start. They looked strong, and that was a good save from Zaluska. But you know, you had to make 2 or 3 before Dundee United eventually got themselves into the game.
We spoke beforehand about the obvious adrenaline that would be pumping through them, but they started well and just maintained it.
Yeah, they did. They came flying at the traps, really, and I honestly believe, Rob, I think Hamilton would have beaten most teams tonight. I really believe that. And rather than sort of hammering Dundee United, because Dundee United haven't performed tonight, and Craig will know they'll certainly have to do better when they play Celtic at the weekend. But I would rather give Hamilton credit. I thought they played really, really well, and I was ever so impressed with them tonight.
United were ragged, but we would have to give a lot of the credit for that to Hamilton, wouldn't we?
You've got to get out of the way first that United were inept, absolutely. And I think that you could see right from the very start that Hamilton wanted it more. And we thought that Hamilton would be the more nervous of the two sides. That wasn't the case. It looked like Dundee United were nervous, they were sluggish. But that said, you've got to give absolute credit to Hamilton. They played the game in the right manner for a team that have come up very hungry, and not just a sort of battling performance. I mean, really, good play throughout, from Czerny all the way up to Offiong. Really good play, and they also, as Billy Reid was saying there, they know each other really well, all working for each other. A good balance between young players and experience. And tell you what,
Mark McLaughlin, which really at this stage of the game, John, they barely deserved.
No, as we keep saying, Hamilton started the game really bright. They put pressure on Dundee United's goals too, and this was totally against the run of play. And Craig Levine's probably sitting there thinking, well, great, we've took the lead. We'll try and hold on to it now and see how we go. But Hamilton bounced back ever so well. Come back with a couple of goals of their own before half-time. But it's a decent ball in there from Willow Flood, and the centre forward makes a good run, and he just puts a defender off, and it's in his own goal.
It's an awful bit of help from a deflection, but he was another star performer for them tonight, wasn't he?
yeah, it's really important in the modern day football match to have a set of full-backs that are really comfortable on the ball. But this one's obviously a little bit more special because Tony Stevenson can pop up around the box and he can hit free kicks. He was delivering corner kicks, and he eventually, we'll see, plays a fantastically floated ball into McLaughlin for the next goal. And an Easton that's got legs and youthful desire, and then you've got this guy here. Look at the way he just floats that in. Now McLaughlin does very well to get up, and we heard MacArthur saying that it may have touched his hand. Well, I think we can surely say that it definitely touched his hand there. But McLaughlin gets up well. It's a great ball in, and I think the whole point is that Hamilton go 1-0 down in this game. Now for a side just coming up to the SPL, you show real character. See Dodds and Wilkie there.
Everybody stops there.
Yeah, no one attacks the ball.
The ball stands still there for about a second. Once he stops here and slips, and Dundee United's players just watch. I think everybody's just waiting. Nobody goes and closes the ball down. He has a free shot in the goal. He's 15 yards out.
Yeah, the communication there. There's a real lack of it, and it's a good finish, a really good finish. And this has been, for me, in the first weekend of the SPL season, great to see. Falkirk playing really good football against Rangers, St Mirren playing really good football against Celtic. You've now got Hamilton playing really good football against Dundee United, and real football, Rob, just kind of playing through the midfield, not being rushed, being composed on the ball, being able to take it in, and just having a little bit of responsibility on the ball, not just and that's character. And it's really good to see these teams going to difficult places. Obviously, this one's here at home for Hamilton, but against a team that's fancied for third spot, and having the composure to take the ball in like that's great.
The Czech keeper, and when he was required towards the tail end, as United were looking to get a goal back to give themselves a little bit of hope, he was the man in the way.
Yes, he was. He made 2 or 3 excellent saves just after one another, and Dundee United certainly were better in the second half, but unfortunately it was too long. This boy here's swan song for me has to play on Sunday against Celtic. He's one of the few Dundee United players tonight who, when he did get on the ball, was looking to make something happen. Another great save, but no, I thought, as you say, Dundee United were better in the second half, but unfortunately it was too little too late for them.
But sometimes, when you're talking about Czerny making great saves, I think Stuart Level was a little bit harsh on him. I think he made maybe 3-4 top quality saves. They weren't all for the camera, but what can happen is if the goalkeeper's not doing it, you know how important a goalkeeper is. For a side like Hamilton, Dundee United get a goal at the right time in the second half, then they're right back in the match again. Czerny was good, so they had that quality right from the very back to the very front, and totally deserved their win.
The managers tonight. Here's the Dundee United manager with Emma.
Craig, a 3-1 defeat to Hamilton here at New Douglas Park. What's your reaction after that game?
Yeah, extremely disappointed, as you would probably imagine. I thought we were abysmal today, in all honesty. Their first 4 chances came from us giving the ball away in dangerous areas and being absolutely stupid and taking chances in areas we didn't need to. And that set the pattern for the game, and it wasn't until the last 20-25 minutes that we actually looked an attacking force going forward.
And did you think perhaps it was something that could have settled your side when you did get that fortuitous opening goal?
I wasn't comfortable. In all honesty, I was watching the game and wasn't comfortable. I didn't think we were defending properly. In fact, we defended terribly, and we didn't look solid. Which, believe it or not, we've been on the training ground working on that. We get back on again, I think. But no, I mean we got in front with fortuitous goal, and then of course it's equalised by Hamilton doing the same sort of thing. So, but I was never happy today. I didn't feel that we were really defending properly, and that really is the basis for everything.
There was some talk on the second goal for Hamilton of a possible handball. Were the players conveying that in the dressing room at all?
No, not that I'm aware of.
You were undone by 2 set pieces, like you said. Is that particularly disappointing for you, given your defensive record last season?
Yeah, well, the first one's a deflection, that can happen. I mean, the only thing that is disappointing is the wall broke ranks a little bit, and the second one when our centre backs loses a header, which I wouldn't expect. I mean, we didn't lose many last year, and they lost too many headers today, and that affected the rest of the game.
Can you put your finger on just why things didn't quite click for your team tonight, given the pre-season form that you've showed?
We didn't defend properly. That is the basis for everything. We didn't defend properly, and even if we hadn't played particularly well and defended properly, then you look to go away with a point. So that's first and foremost something we need to address.
And it's a case of regrouping now ahead of your first home game of the season next weekend against Celtic.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we need to do much better than we did today. And we'll have a look at the video of today's game in the cold light of day and see what we can take from it.
Thanks for your time, Craig.
And Celtic might have some concerns about facing up to Dundee United this coming weekend, live on Setanta Sports, of course, at Tannadice, because it's not often you see the Tannadice team playing badly in consecutive games. And as the manager said himself there, they were, Scott, abysmal. Of this first night in the SPL, they could be here to stay. Bye for now.